Live.
Welcome to Jamstack Pirates, the rum-fueled treasure hunt in the sharky waters around the Jamstack Islands with Queen Raae. I'm your host, Captain Olav, and today's guest is the great and powerful pirate princess Lillian!
And Millie and Tilly.
Jag gjorde 20 gånger, pappa.
Okay. And what are we doing today?
Du måste säga att det skulle blåsa 3 gånger och så blåste det 20.
Lillian was supposed to blow the thing 3 times.
Oh, you gotta move into the frame.
Men så gjorde jag det 20 gånger, men då så det.
But then she did it 7 times. She said
She did not listen. Oh, I forgot my light. There we go. Look at that.
Yeah.
Coziness and like closing.
Me too. I also forgot my lights.
I even
Okay,
have some
Lillian,
candy back
remember to
here
eat
that
your
Lillian doesn't
food.
know about.
Eat your food.
Okay, yeah. So today we are going to be working. Or maybe I shouldn't eat candy while I'm talking. Today we will be working on our rate limiting messages for Prune or Follows. So we've had one rate limit message, and it kind of originally with Prune or Follows, our tool to help you find accounts to unfollow for a more joyful Twitter feed. If you unfollow more than 15 people in 5 minutes, Twitter is like, nah, you're not allowed to, you're not allowed to unfollow anymore. So we added a little overlay that says you're not allowed to follow anymore. Please come back again, at another time. Then it turned out that we were not allowed to unfollow as an app. So it was 15 per 15 minutes per user. But then it was also 500 in total for the whole app. So we had to then change kind of the overlay message because then we were featured in TechCrunch and we reached that limit. So we needed to be like, hey, it might not be you, it might be us, or it might be Twitter actually. So we kind of just scooted that together in one overlay. So I've done the work on the back end a while back to differentiate between a rate limit coming on the user or a rate limit coming on the whole app. So what we want to do today then is to differentiate the messaging so that we can say, hey, you've unfollowed too many people in 15 minutes, come back, or hey, the whole app is being rate limited. And timely, we decided to do this week. And then today, Twitter dropped a new pricing. And even if we pay $100 a month, we'll be pretty heavily limited. So the new pricing, even for the $100 a month plan that Twitter has come out with, which we have to spring for if this is going to keep on working, you're only allowed to unfollow 5 people in 15 minutes. So that rate limit, that rate limit message is going to be coming up a lot more. So then it's really important that people know that it's like the user level that's been rate limited versus the app level. So yeah, but that's also why we were a little late, because I got stuck tweeting and talking about all of these Twitter changes. And now I'm going to retweet that we are live because we were a little late. So let's retweet that. Okay. So I'm going to share my code and then we can have a little bit of a...
We were actually hit by this change now because you had scheduled a tweet, hadn't you?
Yes, so I had scheduled a tweet this morning that was going to go out midday today saying that, we were going to be working on this rate limiting tonight. And then the message didn't go out. And then I was on Facebook because I was talking to the Daegu Mania group about what kind of food we should give Millie and Tilly. And that's when I saw that FeedHive had or in the FeedHive group that also came up for me that that they have discontinued all of their Twitter integrations because with the new plan, they would have to pay the enterprise plan, which is $42,000 a month, which they cannot afford.
Might seem a little excessive.
A little excessive. It's a big jump there from $100 a month to $42,000 a month. It would have been nice to see some in between. And then also just, I imagine that if we, I was like, okay, let's, pay. Like, I think it's weird that we should get all of these things for free. But for $100 a month, I was hoping that we would be allowed to facilitate a lot more than 5 followers per user, right?
So we need many users then.
Well, they still, like, their experience will be pretty lousy, but anyway. So this is our dev app. So, well, it seems like we're already hit by...
You can't authorize.
I can't authorize. So it seems like they said we had 30 days to do this change.
Yeah, didn't they?
So let's go and look at the actual production app, if that's also it's not working. Well, then this is going to be a totally different stream.
But we can handle that. Don't worry.
I mean, can we YOLO? Yes, we can YOLO.
Yes, we can. Okay,
so I had to click twice. Yeah, but I think it was just like a little bit of a snafu there in the UI, because if I did authorize app and then just try again, authorize app, and then authorize app, authorize app.
This is dev, but yeah, the one in production worked right away, didn't it?
Yes,
this is production.
The one in production. Yeah, this is production.
Prune follows. Yeah, okay.
So, but it's going to be hard. Well, it's going to be hard because I can't code straight on production, and we can't like see.
You can. Up. Yes, you can. You can code straight on production. I mean, it's almost Friday, isn't it?
It's you're saying let's just push to prod.
Let's do it.
Let's push to prod.
Why not?
But let me just log in on the Twitter and see. Maybe they said something, because I had three versions of the app. I had production, staging, or dev, and testing, and it did say something about me needing to remove one of them. So So okay. If I just log in, and I'll show you after I've logged in, so you don't see my credentials and stuff. I can show everyone how the new pricing and everything looks and is communicated here in the developer portal. See how to best do this. Okay. I'm going to remove my can you remove my screen from the...
What screen?
Can you remove my code, like the Let's Prune or follows? Yeah, there we go. Because then I can log in without any... Well, this is going to be fun. Okay,
it came out today?
It came out today, but it said we had 30 days. I don't understand why our dev isn't working. But, I mean, things are a little up in the air, right? So we'll just have to see then. Okay. Then I'll need to copy in there. And then I need to erase my clipboard history. Let's see, copy. Are you doing the pause music? Okay, now we're back.
What do you mean?
So we're back. I can showcase. So this
look who's here. I will read it.
Hey, Inessa, we've missed you.
Howdy. Yes, long time no see, man. Do you have a new background? No, is that like a new background? Does he have a new like profile pic here now?
Maybe. But do you know what? Something is weird because when I was in here just a couple of hours ago, I got the.
Skal du komme og vinke?
Er han der?
Ja.
Kan jeg se oss?
Oh, here we go. Now we're in. So, product's new Twitter API version 2. So this is the free one. And then this is the basic one.
Hello, Inessa.
Hello, Inessa.
Ja, og så
but I'm pretty...
Hello, Inessa.
Bra.
I'm pretty sure they said we had 30 days. Are they saying it needs to happen now?
Er det en dame eller mann? Er Inessa en dame eller mann?
Inessa says it never changed Well, this is interesting.
Take up on the first. He says he never changed it. Se, Lilian! Han vinker tilbake. Se der.
Jeg ser herfra.
Lilian sees you rave. She sees it.
Okay, so let's work towards production then. I'm gonna remove myself again, and I'm gonna get the production.
Did I say that Inessa never changed his avatar thing on
I saw.
YouTube?
Yeah, I saw.
There you go. Well,
okay, so
it was cool. Anyway,
it seems like they've already revoked our import.
Okay.
It seems like they've already revoked our access to.
But can't we just use the production thing?
Attila
I will read it. Attila says, this is Attila of Seira. Attila says, you have 30 days, but it won't work the next 29. That's exactly what I was thinking. Not exactly this, but I was thinking about Dr. Evil when they said, okay, you used to pay $100, but now let's say 42,000. Yeah.
Oh my God, this is.
What are you doing now, then?
I was trying to, because I was hoping to be able to get that, to use the keys from our production environment, but then I have to regenerate them, and then our production won't work anymore.
Oh, don't do that.
So this is going to be a fun stream. So let me just go back. Let's see if production actually works. Like if I can do anything. Or if we're getting
if you generated new keys, then you can't do anything, can you?
No, I didn't generate new keys because I thought that would be.
Oh, Taylor Swift is here. Good.
Taylor Swift.
Julian, I know him.
Okay, so let's unfollow and follow Taylor Swift a couple of times then. So let's see if we're getting an error.
Okay. Oh, you want to do it like 5 times?
Yeah.
You're checking if we have the 5 thing.
Well, I'm going to unfollow Twitter dev, that's for sure.
It's not their fault. Twitter dev didn't decide this.
Okay, so this is weird because production still works. And Twitter works this way where we have these 3 apps that are on the same. It's kind of like 3 versions of the same app. So I have test and dev, and these are the keys that I'm using now, and nothing works for this key, but it's working for this key.
What about the test then?
I don't know, because we don't have anything in test right now. What I can do is I can delete test, because I think maybe the problem is that we have 3 apps instead of 2 apps. Because if you look at the Twitter API version 2, it says here that for the free version, we are only allowed 1 environment, but then for the basic, we have 2 environments.
But shouldn't we try the test first? Because if the test works, that's...
Yeah, no, do you know what? I think we're now on the free. I think they already put us, no, because on the free plan, we wouldn't have been allowed to do any unfollows. Oh my God, this is...
Okay, so we're not on the free, we're on the basic.
I don't think we're on any of those, because those are the new ones that are supposed to take into effect in 3 days, no, in 30 days. But I think maybe we've been limited to 2 environments already. Well, let's delete test, because it's not really being used. So let's just delete test and see if that makes any difference.
Okay. Here we go. Here we go.
Just guessing what the Twitter app is like thinking right now. Okay, so there we go. Now we only have 2 environments. Let's see if our local will work now.
That would be amazing. Wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Come on, you can do it, Twitter. Come on, Twitter. No, that looks bad.
Oh, that worked. Is that some kick-ass problem-solving skills right there?
Yeah. You got the rumors on the Facebook, didn't you? Oh, Attila says something. Maybe the API is just broke. That's a very valid possibility, considering
maybe we were just unlucky. Okay, it looks like it's not importing all my followers again, that's for sure, because we are now looking at one SATA database, or like one branch of the SATA database here in our local, or in our dev. So this is the dev branch of our SATA database, and then this is our production version of the SATA database. And I save in there that you have, like, that I have just unfollowed somebody, like right here. So I'll unfollow Twitter dev, and then when you log in, whenever you log in, I go and re-import all the people you've followed. And as you can see, like here, it hasn't caught up this change. So that is weird. So something is off. That might just be the broken API, but let's do what we came here to do. So let's say I know just like unfollow a bunch of people. I try to unfollow like 15 people, and I get this overlay. And the overlay is kind of hacked together here in our root root component that kind of encapsulates the whole app.
Yeah.
So I already have a set is rate limited true, and if it is true, we get this overlay. So let's just set it initially to true, and we can see the overlay that we get. So Twitter does not allow Prune follows if Attila said any more unfollows today, such as the price of getting featured in TechCrunch was within December, so we should have updated this. Come back in 24 hours, and you should be able to unfollow 50 accounts per 15 minutes. So this is all changed. So what I want to do is split this up into different modals. So the first thing I want to do then, when I just don't have one thing, I always want to, like Monica said on our Data in the Wild podcast, just make an array of the thing instead of trying to like keep track of it in a different way. So I'm just gonna go.
I talked to my my other code mentor today in Australia, Martin G, and he did the same. He's working on the React thing, so he also did that. He made an array.
So what we're gonna so what we're gonna do is that
inside of a thing, and it had to take it out because it's gonna need a different text. So there you go.
So what I'm gonna do instead, because we're not doing TypeScript, I'm just gonna do a object. So I'll make it rate limit type.
But you promised me an array.
Well, it's not enough, but at least it's not just like one. So unknown. I cannot spell unknown. But instead of just like having, because what a lot of people will do is that they will do so let's show what a lot of people would do is that they'll just multiply, make two of this, and then make one is set is user rate limited, and another one is app rate limited. And then if there's another state, they're going to add another one, and you just like keep adding these, and it's going to be super hard to be able to know what state you're in. So instead of doing that, we're gonna create these limit types. So we have the unknown, and we set that to, you know, and then we can also reuse this as our kind of our title, or I just make them descriptions. So, why can I not spell unknown known on stream? So an unknown rate limit reach. So I think this is quite important to like have one of those in there, because now with all the Twitter changes, like we can be getting all kinds of rate limits. So if you don't really know what the rate limit is, let's just have that. And then we'll have app, which is the app rate limit is reach, which is when we like the whole app has been rate limited, and per now it's 500 unfollows per 24 hours. And then the user, so the user rate limit is reached. And now that is 50 or 50, no, I think it's 50 users, 50 unfollows per 15 minutes. And then in 30 days, it's going to be five, no more than 5 unfollows in 15 minutes, which is just insane. Anyway. And then instead of just setting set is rate limit true here, we want to set it to nothing to start with. And then we want to set the type here depending on the different error statuses we get. So I know that what I've done, I think it's in the API wrapper that I have in, where is my API wrapper? Not there. Suddenly I can't remember my own code. That's all, that's always good. Where's the, oh yes, I have it in there in domain. So wrapper, I think it's depending on the error. I am sending.
Yeah. Attila says const
Code.
rate limit type equal musk. What?
Musk, yeah. So what I do here is that if it's a 429 limit remaining. Okay, so here I probably should have done unknown. We'll have to figure this out on the back end.
Can I take it or should I wait?
You can do it.
Inessa says, is the rate per Twitter account or per Twitter app? And the answer is account.
So it's both. So there is at the moment there's a 50 unfollows per logged in user of the app, but then also a max total of 500 per app. So Prune Your Follows can only facilitate 500 unfollows in 24 hours, and each user can only do up to 50. So if a lot of people are unfollowing, then we hit, if 10 people then unfollow 50 people in one day, we get rate limited.
All right. 10 people is not a lot.
So that's a good thing about them only being allowed to do 5 users in 15 minutes, because then they'll probably just do 5 in one day, and then we can have 100 users unfollowing every day. So I need to work a little bit on this part, because what I do here is that, okay, I get a 429, which is means that it's a rate limit. And then I check if the limit remaining, so if it's more than 0, I'm guessing that we're getting an app and rate limit app, because every time a user kind of unfollows, you get back a header here with how many remaining unfollows they have. And if that is then more than 0, they're not rate limited because of themselves. They're rate limited because they're the app is being rate limited. So I don't think we'll ever get into that unknown state, but it's always good to have like a unknown state in case in case we've done something wrong with our code or things change. So we'll do a switch here then on the code, and we can see here that our codes that I created myself is rate limit user and rate limit app. So we'll go back and we'll do a switch on the error response code. Oh my God. On the response code, and then if that value then is rate limit app, we should set rate limit to rate limit type app. And then if it's rate limit, what did I call that? Rate limit user, then it should be rate limit user. And if there, for some reason, we get a 429 for some other reason, then we can do its default and we'll set the
It's okay.
set. Oh, I'm just going to copy paste today because I really can't spell today. I'm so tired in my hands. Okay, unknown. So if any of these are set, then yeah, so there is a rate limit set, but we don't want to call it is anymore. Then we just want to call it, let's call it rate limit reached type. And then set rate limit reached type. So to start with, it's nothing. And then if we get a code of rate limit app, we set it to rate limit app. If we get a code of rate limit user, we set it to rate limit user. And if not, we set it to unknown. And then down here, then for rate limit overlay, we need to create different overlays.
Yeah.
For the different ones, either let's do it inside of rate limit overlay. So it's open, we just do different messages. So it's open if rate limit reached is not null. So we can do a boolean just to be really good and make sure it's a boolean. And then we could maybe send in the type.
Yes.
Or no, let's just make them. Let's just make separate ones right in here instead of trying to obfuscate it or whatever that word is. So
you mean mess with it? Did you mean not mess with it?
So we'll say this one is open if rate limit type equals to unknown. So we can start with this one as unknown. So rate limit unknown. And then we'll create some new ones, and it will be for app and then for user. So then we'll need to create some new ones. So let's just let's do not common. Let's duplicate it. So in here we'll just create, or not just, but rate limit user overlay. And then we'll create another one, rate limit app overlay. Oh, wrong place. And then we'll copy paste this one, and we'll call this rate limit unknown. Okay, and we'll copy. And I can probably create a reusable rate limit, but it's so little. So we'll just have them as 3 separate ones that don't share anything, so that we could, we might end up wanting to just make them completely different. So this one then is rate limit app overlay. This one is rate limit unknown. Why is unknown so weird when I see it again and again? Unknown.
That's it. Unknown is supposed to be weird. That's how your brain works.
Rate limit user overlay. So Twitter needs a break. So that's nice for our user one. And then that's going to be Twitter does not allow you to unfollow more than 50 users in 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, come back in a little while. In a little while. And then we can do need a reminder. Oh, no, because if they have an email, we'll also we'll remind you tomorrow if we don't see you back here today. That's something else we need to set up, that we're actually send these emails we're promising people.
So do you want to use Outseta for that?
Maybe. We'll see. And then need a reminder to come back, fill in the form. So that looks good.
Yes.
That's our user overlay. And then Twitter needs a break. Let's see. Twitter is having all kinds of problems these days.
Well, I have a feeling that the answer to this question is no. What happened?
These days, Twitter has been having all kinds of problems these days. Come back later, and you'll hopefully be allowed to unfollow someone.
I'll read Inessa's question now. Do you have a cron job running to send emails?
We have actually no email set up. My plan is to integrate with an email service provider where we could send it events and then set up rules there. So for instance, for this rate limit user, we can send them an event saying that, oh, this user has been rate limited. And then if we don't see them back in the application for 24 hours, then we can send them a reminder being like, hey, didn't you want to unfollow more people? And then they'll be back in the app. And then if it's the rate limit app problem, then we'll wait a couple of days before we email them, because we have to wait out the full 24 hours before anyone is allowed unfollows today.
I see. I see. But we could have done it with a cron job.
We could have had a job, we could have had a job going, a cron job going, or a schedule, something scheduled that would hit the database and see if people have been back. But then we would have to data model that kind of event structure and then have all of those events in the database and then check on those events ourselves. And that's, what these email service providers often do. So both Userlist and Outseta and others will have the possibilities of capturing events, or you send them events, or they capture events, or both. And then you can set up email rules that will send out emails based on these rules. And what's cool about that is that you don't really have to go in and recode a bunch of stuff. As long as you're sending the correct events, you can then change the rules in their tools instead of having to code the stuff. So yeah. Okay, so let's look. Let's look at how this will be looking then. So for this one, we need the rate limit unknown overlay, and then for this one, we need the rate app overlay, and then for this one, we'll need the user overlay. Oh, I forgot to rename that one. So what's cool about this is that, if we had three of these use states, we could end up in a situation where two of them were active and we would have two overlays on top of each other. So what's really good about modeling kind of the specific states that your application or your component can be in with an object like this is that that only one of them will be able to be active, because as soon as you set one, the other one is kind of canceled out. So it makes it so that it's easier to know and visualize kind of in your head what states can this component be in, instead of having a lot of if this, else that, if, and then suddenly you have two competing booleans that shouldn't have been or both shouldn't have been true, but suddenly both are true, and suddenly you have two overlays. I'm sure you've been to websites where you're like, where you click, I'm not interested, and then you get another overlay pop, anyway. So I really like being very explicit about my states, and then use those down here. So
another question from the audience. Our
yes.
producers. Inessa says, I've been exploring the notification API and push API just this week. WebKit released support on iOS for...
Did they?
Yes.
Sorry.
For... Oh, I saw it. I got the Iron Curtain now. What is PVA, web application? Progressive web applications.
Yes.
Super fun testing it.
Oh, I really, you need to come on and show me, Inessa, because I've been waiting for this for like a better part of 12 years or whatever, since notifications were a thing. I wanted to be able to do them, and then I just never have once they finally came. Okay.
But they just came. Didn't you just say that?
Yeah, but that's on iOS. But Chrome has been able to have notifications for a while. Okay, so instead of like firing up and making sure, I'll make some proper tests for this, but instead of having to kind of make sure that our backend is giving us the correct error codes, we're just going to be testing if these overlays are correct, and then call that, say that's it for today.
Yes.
So let's start with this unknown type. So if we set that then as our initial state, we should be getting an overlay.
What does unknown mean again here?
It just means that we don't know why we've been why we've been yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So it should be open if rate limit reach type equals rate limit type unknown. So we should be getting this rate limit unknown overlay, but we're not. I've been talking so much that I lost my train of thought. No, there it is. So Twitter needs a break. Twitter's been having all kinds of problems these days. Come back later. So let's make that one sentence, because that just looked really bad. Let's see. We don't know what's up with Twitter. That's a better one. Prune, your follow.
This is the unknown.
Limited for
don't say PYF. I don't know. I don't know what it means.
Okay. Prune your follows.
Oh, okay.
Is rate limited for some reason. For some unknown reason. Unknown reason. Come back later, and
you need one more N in unknown. Unknown.
Unknown reason. Come back later and try again.
Yes.
Okay. So you'll get a reminder in your inbox. Need a reminder to come back. So that looks good. Good enough, at least, because it's not the one that's going to be used a lot, we hope. And then we'll try the rate limit type user. Twitter does not allow you to unfollow more than 50 users in 15 minutes. Come back in a little while. Let's make that one as well.
But we don't really know. It might be 5, right?
Yeah,
they might have implemented that already. Well,
you think we should be
30 days? In 30 days? Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we don't pay for this and the changes take effect, then people will be able to log in. So as long as they're able to log in, they're allowed to do 50 users in 15 minutes.
Hopefully.
Yeah. And then need a reminder to come back. Look at that. Come back in a couple of minutes.
That's great.
And couple of minutes. That is not correct.
Take away the I.
Minutes. Like
There
that.
you go.
Well, and then you'll get an email. You'll get a reminder. We'll get a reminder
I will read in Nesa now. He's got two.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was playing around with the iOS thing, and he says that the notification API and push API came in Chrome for Android 8 years ago.
Yeah.
LOL.
Yes, and I didn't want to play with it because at that time I was working mostly. I had an iPhone, and I was like, and then I kind of just shelved it. But now that it's actually working across, it would be a lot of fun to see.
Okay, next comment is this. So you said that you wanted Inessa to come on and show you, and then he says, I'd love to chat about it, planning a talk about it too. That's the way to go.
Inessa, you should send it's only a couple. Oh, you got 1 day. You should send your talk proposal to React Norway.
Yes.
And that would be super cool if you could if you could come hang with us down south of Oslo.
They have a beach there,
And
the
then
water
we'll
is
do
kind
the
of
app.
cold. It's like ice baiting, but it's baiting.
Yeah. Okay. Let's try.
Okay. You say okay.
Yeah. So now we're doing, I'm just saying okay, we're doing the Twitter limit app overlay. So allow prune your follows. Prune your
Ooh, he says
follows. So
I will submit one to React Norway.
Yes.
Yes.
You have another or 50 accounts. You info 50 accounts per 15 minutes. So that one
Maybe
looks
50.
good.
It's maybe 50 or 5.
Okay, you know what? Let's just do a strong about, because the important thing here is that if we are rate limited, you need to come back in 24 hours. But if you are rate limited, you can come back in a couple of minutes. So when the user is rate limited, it's what they call like a sliding window. So if we've unfollowed, if you unfollow 50 people like this, as soon as the time has like slid a little to the side, and these people over here are no longer in your rate limit, so then you can unfollow some more. So so it kind of slides, so you only have to wait a couple of minutes to unfollow some more people. While if the app is rate limited, it is rate limit as soon as you hit that 500, it will kind of shut your app down for 24 hours. So yeah. So that's why this wording needs to be different.
Yes.
Okay. So let's do a BR here then, just to be. So that looks good. Need a reminder to come back, and then if not, no worries, you'll get a reminder in your inbox tomorrow. Okay.
That's great.
This is kind of funny though that we're not sending those reminders. Maybe we should just comment that out until we have that functionality in place.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, so let's do that then.
We're not planning to do it anytime soon, are we?
Well, maybe. I might suddenly just YOLO it.
I think you should do it without Zeta. Out Zeta. And if that's true, then it's going to be May. No, May.
What are Ola?
I didn't say anything. It was me.
Oh, you're funny. Okay, so
I am funny.
I'm just gonna uncomment out this stuff. So let's leave it in there. Usually I don't comment out. Usually I delete, but right now I just felt like uncommenting.
Yes.
Okay. So that is better because then they'll just give us their email because we want their email, and that's about it. And that's it. So let's start on null again.
Yep.
Yep. We got all of them. Whoop.
Looking good.
So now we can just, let's we did it. So different.
So are you saying that the API is working as expected now?
It's working like it used to do, but I think
Oh.
that we got some problems because we had 3 environments and not just 2 for different rate limits. That's good.
That's good.
But then I thought it would be fun to just like force one of these. Let's force it to give us a rate limit from the API and then see if that works.
Okay.
So I think maybe I can do it if I do it in post accounts. And then follow user or unfollow user. Yeah, here in Twitter. So I got unfollow user and I got follow user. And then enrich error. Well, then I need to force an error. So let's force an error. Throw new error. Testing. And then we enrich the error, and then we want to enrich it with error status equals 429. Let's see if that works. This might not work, but let's try it.
All right.
Yeah, that didn't work. Name Twitter response. Message for user. Well, it says error status 429 here. Post account successful unfollow. But how is it a successful oh, did I change it in the follow and not the unfollow? Oh boy, I'm a little beat. Unfollow user. Yeah, I did it in the follow user, not the unfollow user.
That's okay.
Yeah, so let's go back. Follow. Oh, something inspector went wrong. Please let us know on GitHub or in Twitter DM. So that's good. But that was not a 420. Why did we not get the 429? I've seen these overlays in action for real. So the overlays do work. The one we had originally. I'm just trying to force it in a weird way.
Oh, I see Millie now is digging into the forest trying to pick up some goodies. What did you put down there? Flowers?
I put some flowers, and I think it's like a dried pea something that they really, really like.
Dried pea. Is it like squished so it's crunchy?
Well, I don't know why I'm not being able to force this right now.
They love crunch.
Oh, because I gave it an error message. Because these errors from Twitter don't have an error message, and that's the only way I have of testing that it's an.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. I don't know.
Now we should get it done.
There we go. Yeah. So now we could see that we were able to force it. I'm not going to force the different types, but this is an unknown rate limit. So that's cool. And then I'm going to reverse that, of course, because we don't want that. And then maybe I should just write a note to myself that we are checking. Yeah, see, I now have to find a better way to check for Twitter error response. So yes.
Was that the note you were going to write to self?
Something like that. I need to like all of that is very YOLO, but we haven't really been working that much on Prune follows because we have had no idea, what would become of Twitter API access. So now we all have to figure out if we want to, if we want to pay the $100 a month or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying yes to paying, but yes, we're thinking.
So what I think will happen is that in 30 days, it's going to close down, and then we need to come up with a plan and also like a development plan, a roadmap, if you will, Ola, about if we're going to pay the $100, like how are we going to get the $100 a month back? Can we get it back from our users? Do we need sponsors? There's different ways. Yeah.
Or not get it back.
Or not get it back. We could also just pay it to keep having fun. Because as we did last week, like we want to do some fun, like AI suggestions. And that's also going to cost money because OpenAI wants money. So I think we do need to find some sort of like sponsor that can sponsor the project monthly, or we need to start monetizing by charging our users. But this is like a side project. I don't want to start charging people money. That's the boring part of a project.
Or we could try to get people to just donate.
Yeah, donations could be good. As long we could have it as long as there is more than $100 for the month, we'll keep it up. And if it's less than $100 donated for the month, we'll shut it down.
Or something. We don't something. some kind of something.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think we should stop the project.
Yeah.
Because all this fooling around that is happening from Twitter's side makes it more fun for us.
It is. It's a little
We
fun.
like it. We like this. It's not exactly chaos, but it's super close. It's super close. I kind of like it.
It's a little bit of a chaos.
I kind of like that they are like that. It's better that they're like that, and just like Margaret Thatcher said back in the day, that a stumble might prevent a fall. So I think all these social media companies now, they're kind of realizing that, oh, we got to do something, and that's Twitter is doing a lot. I'm not saying it's going to work, but they're doing a lot. Whereas the other companies, they're kind of getting their politician friends to say that TikTok needs to be stopped. I mean, come on. Can't you just make something better just because they're better than you? Oh, Inessa says something.
And also check the other chat, Ola. We have a private chat. Check that as well.
The private chat? I don't understand it. Oh, okay. I tried to ask Inessa what he was doing at work, but he just says, huh?
I think your question seems like it was related to the notification stuff. So
yeah, it was badly written.
Yeah,
but he just says that he, yeah.
Well, fun sides project is what we're all about in ESSA, so that's great.
But he says he has no fun side projects.
My work. Oh, I thought I read that the other way. Yeah. I just want everybody to have fun projects. But Inessa, DM me on Twitter, and we can chat about CFP call for proposal submissions. And I can help you with yours to see if we can spice it up so that you get accepted.
But what other speakers do they have?
But Ola, you wanted this to be a short one.
Yes,
so if you want it to be short, you need to stop talking.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you reading again?
Fun side projects, but not at work.
Yeah, just this one. Oh, that's cool. So let's do the summary then.
All right, I like it. Summary. What did we do actually?
Yes. So I'm gonna add this. So today's task was to make sure that we give people different messages, overlay messages, depending on what type of rate limiting that they are getting or we are getting on their behalf. So this is the one that we made if it's an unknown. So let's look at the code. So in our overlay or in our root component that wraps kind of the whole app, we now defined unknown, app, and user as the different rate limit types, and then depending on the response, the error response code that we set in the backend, we set a different rate limit reach type. So if it's a rate limit app, we set it to app, and user, and unknown. And then we created 3 different rate limit overlays instead of just having the one where we were kind of just saying the app might have been rate limited, you might have been rate limited, something might have been rate limited. We now give different versions for the different types. So if we manually set app now, we see that it's changed, and we say that Twitter needs a break, and Twitter does not allow Prune follows to facilitate any more unfollows today and come back in 24 hours. So this is an important distinction when our whole application is being rate limited by Twitter, because we can only do 500 unfollows in 24 hours. People need to wait 24 hours before coming back to the app. If it's a user one, then we say, come back in a couple of minutes. Oh, couple of minutes, little while. Let's fix that. Come back in a couple of minutes, because when one user is being rate limited, they don't have to wait for 15 minutes, because that is a sliding window of time. So they just need to wait a couple of minutes so that some of the first people they unfollowed has kind of fallen out of that 15-minute window. So come back, and then we have this little reminder box. So that's what we did today. After having some initial troubles with our API access, it seems like it's working fine, but we had to remove one of our app environments, because we had 3 app environments: production, testing, and development, and we kept only production and development, and it started working again. That's it.
Okay, Lilian, are you ready?
Nei, jeg tør ikke.
Ja, men da blir vi ferdig. Then we will finish up and go down and drink some water.
She's thirsty. It's late.
Kom da. Lilian has made her hama beads. She's made a rabbit and a and a little duck, a little chicken, a duck, a chicken, a duckling. It's yellow. And an egg.
Påskeegg.
You must make us big.
Gjorde meg stor.
Okay, Lilian. Jeg teller til 3. And
1,
2, 3. We did a Prune follows treasure hunt with the jam stack Queen Raae, and our guest was a pirate princess, Lilian Millie, Judas Leo.
Oh yeah.
Bye.
See you around the interwebs.